Have you ever wondered what happens when a rock star's glittering facade crumbles into the darkest abyss imaginable, only to meet an end that's as brutal as it is poetic? Buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the shocking saga of Ian Watkins, the former frontman of Lostprophets, whose life went from stadium anthems to prison shanks and what feels like a bad plot twist from a true crime thriller. This isn't just another celebrity downfall. It's a cautionary tale laced with fame, infamy, and now a fatal prison brawl that has the world buzzing. Stick around as we unpack every gritty detail, from his rise to rock royalty to his gruesome exit stage left, and maybe even chuckle at the absurd ironies along the way. Let's rewind to the beginning, because to understand the end, you've got to grasp how high this guy flew before crashing. Born on July 30th, 1977 in Merthyr Tydfil, Wales, Ian Watkins grew up in a working-class family, the kind where dreams of escaping the mundane fuel big ambitions. He wasn't your average kid. He had that charisma, the kind that draws crowds like moths to a flame. By the late 90s, he co-founded Lostprophets in Pontypridd, blending nu metal riffs with emo vibes that hit the sweet spot for angsty teens worldwide. Their debut album, The Fake Sound of Progress, in 2000 exploded onto the scene, charting on Billboard and turning them into festival favorites. Hits like Shinobi vs. Dragon Ninja and Last Train Home from 2004's Start Something album propelled them to sell over 3.5 million records globally. Watkins was the face of it all, tattooed, energetic, with a voice that screamed rebellion. Fans adored him. He dated models, partied with rock elites, and even graced magazine covers. Lostprophets toured relentlessly, sharing stages with bands like Linkin Park and headlining festivals. It was the dream: fame, fortune, and the freedom to live like a god among mortals. But here's where the humor creeps in. Imagine being so famous for singing about fake progress while your real life was barreling toward authentic disaster. Talk about irony that writes itself. Fast forward to 2012, and the facade shattered like a dropped guitar. Whispers turned into screams when South Wales police arrested Watkins on December 17th after a tip-off from his ex-girlfriend. What unfolded was a horror show that made even seasoned detectives blanch. Watkins pleaded guilty in 2013 to 13 child sex offenses, including the attempted rape of a baby. Yes, an infant belonging to one of his superfans. Text messages revealed chilling exchanges like telling a mother, "If you belong to me, so does your baby." His phone held a trove of extreme child pornography and videos of animal abuse. Two female accomplices, mothers who offered their children to him, were sentenced to 14 and 17 years respectively, their identities shielded to protect the victims. The judge, Mr. Justice Royce, didn't mince words. This plunges into new depths of depravity. Watkins' defense? He claimed it was all drug-fueled haze from meth and other substances, but the court saw through it. He got 29 years in prison, plus 6 on extended license, effectively 35 years. Starting at HMP Wakefield, aka Monster Mansion, a fortress for Britain's worst, serial killers, terrorists, and now a fallen rock idol. Funny how the guy who sang about rooftops and Last Summers ended up in a cell block with Hannibal Lecter wannabes. If Karma had a playlist, this would be track 1. Life Inside was in a rock tour. Wakefield holds about 750 high-risk inmates, including notorious figures like Harold Shipman, the doctor who killed hundreds, and Robert Maudsley, the real-life Hannibal the Cannibal, who allegedly ate brains. Watkins, with his celebrity status and heinous crimes, was a walking target. Sex offenders, especially those involving kids, rank low in the prison pecking order. Think of it as the ultimate bad review from your peers. In August 2023, he learned that the hard way, when 3 inmates took him hostage for 6 hours, stabbing him repeatedly with a makeshift blade over a 900-pound drug debt, about $1,200. They tuned him up like a faulty amp, leaving him with stitches and a battered ego. Sources said he owed for smuggled goods, proving, even in lockup, rock stars rack up tabs they can't pay. He survived, but it foreshadowed the inevitable. Insiders whispered he strutted around with a target on his back, his fame making him infamous among cons who fancied themselves vigilantes. One prison source quipped to tabloids that Watkins thought his star power would protect him, like requesting a VIP section in hell. Then came October 11th, 2025, a Saturday morning that turned bloody. Around 9:30 a.m., cells unlocked for the day, and chaos erupted. Reports say another inmate ambushed Watkins with a shank, a sharpened toilet brush or a similar DIY weapon, slashing his throat and severing his jugular vein. Blood everywhere, alarms blaring, guards rushing in like roadies to a stage crash. Despite their efforts, Watkins, 48, was pronounced dead on the scene from massive blood loss. West Yorkshire police arrested 2 men, aged 25 and 43, on suspicion of murder. No motive released yet, but speculation runs wild. Revenge for his crimes, another debt, or just prison politics. The attack was described as premeditated and shocking, even by prison standards.
Multiple guards witnessed it, turning a routine unlock into a crime scene. HMP Wakefield, already under scrutiny for violence, now faces questions about security lapses. How does a high-profile inmate like Watkins get shanked in Babe Light? Critics argue the system failed, not just him, but staff and other prisoners. But let's inject some levity. If Lostprophets' last album was called Weapons, this finale feels like a morbid callback. Who knew their discography predicted the plot? Reactions poured in faster than streams of their old hits. On social media, it's a mixed bag, many unsympathetic, with posts like, "Prison justice served," or "One less monster." Billboard, Variety, and Rolling Stone ran obituaries laced with reminders of his crimes, noting the band's 280,000 monthly Spotify listeners despite the scandal. Former bandmates who disbanded Lostprophets immediately after his arrest and reformed as No Devotion stayed silent so far, but past statements called his actions unforgivable. Public figures weighed in. Some decried vigilante killings, arguing even the worst deserve protection, while others shrugged, saying his victims got no mercy. One ex-user joked, Watkins finally hit a note too high for prison ears. Globally, outlets from CNN to Le Parisien covered it, highlighting the UK's prison woes. Victims' advocates praised the end of his threat, but warned against glorifying inmate violence. His family? Radio silence, understandably. His estate? Whatever's left after legal fees, perhaps royalties that now feel tainted. Spotify debates raged. Pull the music or let it stream. Humor aside, it's a grim reminder that fame doesn't shield from consequences or blades. This story underscores broader issues: celebrity entitlement, the hidden horrors of child exploitation and entertainment, and prison reform needs. Watkins' fall from grace warns that behind the lights, darkness lurks. His crimes scarred innocence forever, and while his death closes a chapter, healing continues for survivors. It's a tale of hubris, horror, and harsh justice, proving rock bottom can always get deeper.